The cold wind of Titan cut through one's suit like a knife. He walked slowly across the icy ground, checking the power lines that connected the mining colony to the generators. This was his job now. Simple work, safe work, nothing like the war he left behind on Earth 5 years ago. He tried not to think about those days anymore. The explosions, the screams, the friends who never came home. That was why he came here to the edge of human space where nothing ever happened. But today, something was different. One stopped walking. In the distance beyond the colony's lights, he saw smoke rising from the ice. Black smoke against Titan's orange sky. His heart started beating faster. He checked his map. Nothing was supposed to be out there. No mines, no buildings, nothing. He should call it in. That was the right thing to do, but curiosity pulled at him. Maybe it was just a meteor. Maybe it was old equipment that finally broke down. He told himself these things as he walked toward the smoke. The walk took 20 minutes. With each step the smoke grew thicker. Then he saw it. A ship, but not a human ship. The metal was wrong. The shape was wrong. Everything about it screamed alien. One's breath caught in his throat. Aliens were real. Everyone knew that. Humans had met a few species in the past 10 years, but they stayed far away from Earth and its colonies. They thought humans were primitive, dangerous, best left alone. So what was an alien ship doing here? He moved closer. The ship had crashed hard. One wing was buried in the ice. The hull had been torn open in several places. One could see scorch marks from weapons fire. This ship hadn't just crashed. It had been shot down. His military training kicked in. He approached carefully, checking for threats. The ship's engines were cold. No power signatures. Whatever happened here was over. He found an opening in the hull and climbed inside. Emergency lights flickered in the darkness. The corridor was filled with smoke. He turned on his suit's flashlight and moved forward. Bodies, 3 of them. Aliens, tall and gray-skinned, wearing armor that looked more advanced than anything humans had. They were dead. One checked each one, an old habit from the war. His hands were shaking. A sound came from deeper in the ship. A groan. Someone was alive. One followed the sound to what looked like the command center. There, slumped against a chair, was another alien. This one was different. Her armor was more decorated. Her skin had markings that seemed important, and she was breathing barely. "Don't move," the alien said in perfect English. Her voice was weak but commanded respect. "I am armed." One raised his hand slowly. "You're hurt, I can help." The alien laughed, then coughed. Blue blood dripped from her mouth. "Why would a human help me? Your kind hates us." "I don't hate anyone," one said. "And you're dying. Let me call our medical team." "No," the alien tried to stand but fell. One moved to catch her and she was too weak to stop him. "If you call anyone, I am dead. My own people are hunting me. They shot down my ship. They killed my crew." One helped her sit back down. "Why would your own people hunt you?" The alien's eyes met his. They were green like Earth's oceans. "Because I refused an order. They told me to destroy a planet, 3 billion lives, men, women, children. I said no." One's chest tightened. He knew what that felt like. He had refused orders too back in the war, orders that would have killed innocent people. That was why he left Earth's military. "What's your name?" he asked. "General of the Dominion Empire, and yours human." "One, just one. I'm nobody important." Smiled despite her pain. "I think you are lying, one. I can see it in your eyes. You were a soldier once." He didn't answer. Instead, he examined her wounds. Bad, very bad. She needed help soon or she would die. "I have a friend," one said. "A doctor. I trust her. She won't tell anyone." "You barely know me. Why would you risk yourself?" One thought about the war, about the orders he refused, about the lives he saved by saying no. "Because you did the right thing, and now you're paying for it. I know what that feels like." He pulled out his communicator and sent a coded message to Hey-One. She would understand. She always did. While they waited told him more. The Dominion Empire ruled hundreds of worlds. They were strong, brutal, and expanding. Any species that refused to submit was destroyed. She had been their best general, winning battles across the galaxy. But when they ordered her to commit genocide, something inside her broke. 47 ships, she said quietly. 47 captains followed me when I ran. Good soldiers who believed there was a better way. Now they hide in the dark, waiting for me to return. Where are they? Far from here, too far. The Dominion will find me first. One's communicator buzzed. Hay-One was coming. She would bring supplies and ask no questions. That was the kind of person she was. I have a workshop, one said. Under the colony. No one goes there but me. We can hide you there while you heal. And then what? I cannot stay hidden forever. The Dominion will search every human colony until they find me. Then we'll figure something out, one problem at a time. Studied his face for a long moment. You are either very brave or very foolish, one. Probably both. She laughed again, and this time it didn't hurt as much. I think I like you, human. If we survive this, I will make you an offer, something that will change your life, change your whole species. What kind of offer? The kind that starts wars or ends them. We will see which. Before one could ask more, lights appeared in the distance. Hay-One's transport was arriving. He helped stand, supporting most of her weight. Can you walk? I can try. They moved slowly toward the exit. One knew his life had just changed forever. He was harboring a fugitive alien general. If anyone found out, he would be arrested, maybe killed. But as he looked at, bleeding and broken but still defiant, he knew he had made the right choice. Some things were worth the risk. Outside, Hay-One's transport landed. His friend jumped out, medical bag in hand. She saw and froze for just a second. Then her training took over. Get her inside, Hay-One said calmly. We don't have much time. Together, they loaded the alien general into the transport. As they drove back toward the colony, one looked at the crashed ship one last time. Somewhere out there, the Dominion was searching for their lost general. And they would find Titan eventually. He had to be ready when they came. One's workshop was buried deep under the colony. He had built it himself over the years, a place where he could work alone and think. Now it was hiding the most wanted alien in the galaxy. Hay-One worked quickly, her hands steady as she cleaned wounds. The alien general's blood was blue and thick, nothing like human blood. But Hay-One had studied alien biology. She knew enough to help. This is going to hurt, Hay-One said. Nodded, I have felt worse. As Hay-One worked, one paced the small room. His mind was racing. What had he done? Hiding an alien fugitive could get the whole colony in trouble. But every time he thought about turning her in, he remembered her words. 3 billion lives. She had saved 3 billion lives by refusing that order. Done, Hay-One said, stepping back. You'll live, but you need rest. Lots of it. Thank you, Doctor said. You are very skilled. Hay-One packed her supplies. One, we need to talk outside. They left resting and walked to the corner of the workshop. Hay-One's face was serious. Do you understand what you've done? She asked quietly. I saved a life. You saved a wanted criminal. That's what the Dominion will say. She refused to commit genocide, Hay-One. That doesn't make her a criminal. Hay-One sighed. I know, but we need a plan. We can't keep her hidden forever. A sound made them both turn. Someone was coming down the stairs to the workshop. One's heart jumped. Only one other person knew about this place. Wu appeared at the bottom of the stairs. She was young, barely 20, and worked as one's apprentice. Her eyes went wide when she saw. Is that an alien? Wu, you can't tell anyone, one said quickly. The young woman walked closer, staring at with wonder. Why would I tell anyone? This is amazing. A real alien here, in our colony. Opened one eye. I am not a zoo animal, child. Sorry, I didn't mean. Wu looked embarrassed. "I've just never seen anyone like you before." "What are you doing here, Wu?" one asked. "I came to get the tools I left yesterday. I didn't know you had company," she looked at again. "Are you okay? You look hurt." "I will survive," said. Over the next hour, one explained everything to Wu. The young engineer listened carefully, her expression growing more serious with each word. "So the Dominion is hunting her," Wu said, "and they might come here." "Yes," one said. "Then we need to get her off Titan, back to her fleet." Sat up slowly. "That is easier said than done. My fleet is hiding in the belt. It would take weeks to reach them in a normal ship. I do not have weeks." "What about your crew?" Haywan asked. "The ones who followed you, can they help?" "They are waiting for my signal, but if I signal them, the Dominion will detect it. They will know where I am. They will come with everything they have." The room fell silent. It seemed impossible. They were trapped. Then spoke again. Her voice was stronger now. "One, come here. I need to talk to you." He sat down beside her. The alien general looked at him with those green eyes. "I have been watching your species for a long time," she said. "Studying you, your history, your wars, your victories and defeats." "Why?" "Because you are interesting. Humans fight differently than any other species. You do not follow the rules. You adapt. You improvise. You win battles you should lose." One didn't know what to say. "The Dominion fears you," continued. "They will not admit it, but they do. They see humanity's potential. That is why they have stayed away from Earth. They are waiting for you to destroy yourselves before they move in." "That's a cheerful thought," Haywan muttered. Ignored her. "One, I want to make you an offer. If you help me reach my fleet, I will give you something no human has ever had." "What?" "Command, knowledge, technology. I will make you my chief strategic advisor. You will have access to everything the Dominion knows about warfare, every tactic, every weapon, every secret." One stared at her. "Why would you do that?" "Because I need what you have. Human thinking, human creativity. My soldiers are brave and loyal, but they fight like the Dominion taught them. They follow doctrine. They cannot adapt like humans can." She leaned forward. "I am building a coalition to fight the Dominion. Dozens of species working together, but we need an edge. Humanity can give us that edge." "You want to use us as weapons," one said. "I want to make you partners, equals. Help me and humanity will have a place at the table when the galaxy is reshaped. Refuse and your species will remain isolated, alone, primitive in the eyes of others." Wu whistled softly. "That's quite an offer." Haywan crossed her arms. "And what if we help you and you lose? What happens to Earth then?" "The Dominion will come for you anyway," said. "Whether you help me or not, they always expand, always conquer. At least with me, you have a chance to fight back." One stood up and walked away. His head was spinning. This was too much, too big. He was just one man, a maintenance worker who wanted to forget his past. But was right about one thing. The Dominion would come for Earth eventually. If humanity could learn from her, prepare, maybe they would have a chance. "I need time to think," he said. "We do not have much time," replied. "The Dominion will track my ship's debris field. They will come." As if on cue, an alarm sounded through the colony. One's communicator buzzed. He answered it. "One, this is Sangwoo." The colony administrator's voice was tense. "We have a situation. Ships just entered orbit. Dominion ships. They say they're hunting a war criminal." One's blood went cold. "What do they want?" "Permission to search the colony. They have scanning equipment, advanced stuff. If they search everywhere." Sangwoo paused. "Is there something I should know?" One looked at. She was watching him calmly, waiting to see what he would do. He had a choice: turn her in and stay safe, or protect her and risk everything. He thought about the 3 billion lives she saved. He thought about the soldiers who followed her into exile because they believed in her. He thought about Earth, alone and vulnerable in a hostile galaxy. Sangwoo, one said slowly. I need you to trust me. Can you delay them just for a few hours? There was a long silence. You're involved in this, aren't you? Yes. Is it bad? It's complicated. Another pause. I'll try to slow them down, but one, if this goes wrong, we're all in trouble. I know, thank you. He ended the call and turned to the others. Haewon looked worried. Wu looked excited, looked expectant. We need to move you, one said. Now, before they start scanning. And your answer to my offer, asked. One took a deep breath. Ask me again if we survive this, then I'll give you an answer. Smiled, that is fair. They had hours, maybe less, before the Dominion found them. One's mind was already working, planning, falling back into the tactical thinking he thought he had left behind. The war had found him again, and this time the stakes were higher than he ever imagined. Commander stood in the colony's main hall, his tall frame making the humans around him look small. He wore the black armor of a Dominion hunter, decorated with marks for every target he had captured. There were many marks. We appreciate your cooperation, he said to Sangwoo. His voice was smooth, almost friendly. This will go much easier if everyone simply tells the truth. Sangwoo kept his face neutral. He was good at that. Years of dealing with corporate managers and government inspectors had taught him how to show nothing. We've already told you everything. No alien ships have landed here. No unusual activity. And yet, gestured to a hologram display, my sensors detected a crash site 30 kilometers from here. A Dominion military vessel. Are you saying you didn't notice a ship crashing so close to your colony? Titan is a big place. We don't monitor every square kilometer. Nah, the colony's security chief stepped forward. She was a former military police officer, tough and no-nonsense. Commander, we've let you scan our facilities. You've checked our records. What more do you want? Smiled, it was not a pleasant smile. I want General. She is a traitor and a murderer. She killed loyal Dominion soldiers and fled. If you are hiding her, you are committing an act of war. We're not hiding anyone, Sangwoo said. But even if we were, this is a human colony. You have no authority here. The smile vanished. The Dominion has authority everywhere, remember that. While this conversation happened above, one was moving through the maintenance tunnels under the colony. Wu led the way with a flashlight. Haewon supported its other side. How are you feeling? Haewon asked. I have been better, said, but I can walk. Where are we going? Wu asked. The ice caves, one said. Natural formations under the colony. The Dominion scanners can't see through that much ice. They moved as quickly as injuries allowed. Behind them, one could hear the sounds of the colony being searched, doors opening, people being questioned. The Dominion was thorough. They will find me eventually, said. Their technology is very advanced. Then we'll need to move you before that happens, one replied. They reached the ice caves 20 minutes later. The temperature dropped immediately. Even with their suits, they could feel the cold. One led them to a small chamber he had discovered years ago. It was hidden behind a narrow passage, easy to miss. Rest here, he told. I need to go back and see what's happening. Be careful, Haewon said, if they suspect you're involved. I know. One left them and made his way back through the tunnels. He emerged in a storage area and walked calmly toward the main hall. Act natural, he told himself. You're just a worker checking on the situation. He found Sangwoo arguing with Commander. Several Dominion soldiers stood nearby, weapons ready. The colonists looked scared. What's going on? One asked. Sangwoo turned to him. They want to scan the entire colony, every room, every tunnel. That will take days, one said. We have time, replied. He studied one with interest. You are the maintenance chief, yes. You know all the tunnels and passages. Most of them. Good, you will guide my soldiers. One's mind raced. If he refused, it would look suspicious. If he agreed, he might lead them right to. Commander, Na interrupted. Our contract with Earth's colonial administration says you can search public areas, but private quarters and workspaces require individual permission. His eyes narrowed. You are being very difficult. Why? Because we have rights, even out here. The commander looked like he wanted to argue, but his communicator beeped. He stepped away to answer it. One used the moment to move closer to Sangwoo. Thank you for slowing them down, he whispered. Don't thank me yet, we can't stop them forever. Sangwoo paused. Is she worth all this trouble? One thought about's offer, about humanity's future. Yes, I think she is. Returned, looking pleased. My scouts found the crash site. They also found evidence that someone visited it recently. Human footprints, human equipment markers. He looked directly at one. Would you know anything about that? I checked the perimeter regularly. I might have passed by that area. And you didn't think to report a crashed alien warship? I didn't see it. The storms here can block visibility. Step closer. You're lying. I can smell it on you. Humans always have this smell when they lie. One held his ground. I'm telling you what I know. For a moment it looked like the commander would attack. Then he smiled again. Very well. We will see what our scans reveal. If you are hiding the general, we will find her. And when we do, everyone who helped her will face Dominion justice. He gestured to his soldiers. They began setting up scanning equipment around the hall. One watched, calculating. The scans would penetrate deep into the colony. Even the ice caves might not hide for long. His communicator buzzed quietly. A message from Wu, movement above us. They're scanning this sector. One's heart sank. They had found the ice caves already. He needed a distraction, something to pull the Dominion's attention away. His mind went back to his military days, to the tricks they used against superior forces. Misdirection, false targets, make the enemy look the wrong way. Commander, one said suddenly, there's something you should know. Everyone turned to look at him. Sangwoo's eyes went wide with alarm. 3 days ago, I detected a strange signal from the north sector. Encrypted, not human. I thought it was just interference, but now. His interest was immediate. Show me. One led the commander and half his soldiers to the communications room. He pulled up false data he had just created on his personal tablet, making it look like colony records. Here, the signal came from this direction. He pointed to a map far from where was hiding. Studied the data. This could be a beacon. The general might have allies coming to extract her. He turned to his soldiers. Redirect the scans to the north sector. Full sweep. As the soldiers rushed to obey, one allowed himself a small breath of relief. He had bought time. Not much, but some. Sangwoo appeared beside him. That was clever, also incredibly risky. I know. They're going to figure out it's false eventually. I know that too. And then, one looked at the Dominion soldiers rushing around. Then we'll need a new plan. His communicator buzzed again. This time it was a different message. From Hey-One, someone else is here, says he's one's brother. One's stomach dropped. Wu Jin. His brother had returned to Titan early from his cargo run. He excused himself and hurried back to the ice caves. Wu Jin was there, staring at with shock. He was older than one by 3 years, with the same dark eyes and stubborn jaw. Please tell me this is a joke, Wu Jin said. It's not a joke. You're hiding an alien general in an ice cave while the Dominion searches for her. Yes. Wu Jin ran a hand through his hair. Are you insane? Do you know what they'll do to us if they find out? She saved 3 billion lives, Wu Jin. The Dominion wanted her to destroy a planet and she refused. His brother was quiet for a moment. Then he sighed. You always do this. Ever since we were kids. Find the impossible cause and throw yourself into it. Will you help? Wu Jin looked then at one. You're my brother, of course I'll help, but we need to get her off this moon. Soon. I have a ship, said weakly. Coordinates to where my fleet waits, if we can reach them. How far? Woojin asked. 2 weeks at human speeds. My ship can do it in 10 days if we push hard, but we'll need to get past the Dominion blockade. One felt hope for the first time since this started. Can you do it? Woojin grinned. I've smuggled cargo past worse, but we need to move fast. Once they realize your false signal is a fake, they'll lock down everything. Above them, alarms started blaring through the colony. One's communicator exploded with messages. They were out of time. The alarms meant one thing. The Dominion had discovered one's false signal was a trick. Now they would be angry. We need to leave now, Woojin said. My ship is on landing pad 7. That's on the other side of the colony, Wu said. The Dominion will be watching all the pads. One thought quickly. His military mind was working again, planning routes and tactics. Hey-One can travel in a medical pod. If I sedate her lightly, yes. Why? Because you're going to declare a medical emergency. A contamination in Sector 4 that requires immediate evacuation of a patient to the orbital station. Hey-One caught on immediately. They'll have to let a medical transport through. It's colony law. Exactly. Wu, I need you to create that emergency. A real one but controlled. Can you trigger a coolant leak in Sector 4? The young engineer nodded. I can make it look bad without actually hurting anyone. Give me 10 minutes. You have 5. Woojin, get to your ship and start pre-flight. Make it look routine. His brother hesitated. What about you? I'll bring to the landing pad. When the emergency starts, everyone will be distracted. They moved fast. Wu ran ahead to set up the coolant leak. Hey-One prepared a medical pod, the kind used to transport critical patients. Woojin slipped away through a maintenance exit. One helped into a wheelchair. She was weak but alert. This plan is risky, she said. You have a better idea. No, I'm simply nodding that if it fails, we all die. Then we won't let it fail. 5 minutes later, alarms of a different kind started blaring. Automated voices announced a chemical leak in Sector 4. Colonists began evacuating that area. One could hear shouting and running footsteps. Now, he said to Hey-One. They moved into the medical pod and sealed it. The pod's exterior was opaque, hiding who was inside. Hey-One pulled on her official medical jacket and grabbed the pod's control handle. I'll meet you at the pad, she said. One watched her go, then took a different route. He needed to get to his workshop one more time. There was something there he might need. He was halfway there when Dominion soldiers appeared ahead of him. They were searching every corridor now, angry and aggressive. One of them said, stop. One stopped, keeping his hands visible. I'm just heading to my workshop. There might be contamination risks from the leak. No one moves without permission. Commander's orders. The soldier raised his weapon. It was set to stun, but one knew it would hurt. He needed to think fast. Then Wu's voice came over the colony's speakers. Emergency escalation in Sector 4. We need all available personnel. This is not a drill. The soldiers looked at each other, uncertain. One spoke into his communicator in the Dominion language. After a moment, they lowered their weapons. Go, one said, but stay where we can see you. One nodded and walked quickly away. As soon as he turned the corner, he ran. His workshop was empty. He grabbed a small case from under his workbench. Inside were old weapons from his military days. He had kept them, even though he swore never to use them again. He strapped one to his hip and put the rest in a bag. When he emerged, Sangwoo was waiting for him. I know what you're doing, the administrator said. Sangwoo, I don't have time. I'm helping. I've already cleared a medical transport for Hey-One. The Dominion tried to stop it, but I cited emergency protocols. They can't legally refuse. One stared at him. You could lose everything for this. Maybe, but I've been running this colony for 8 years. I know what's right. Sang-Woo handed him a data chip, security codes for the landing pad, and one, that alien general better be worth it. She is, thank you. They shook hands, and one ran toward landing pad 7. He arrived to find Woo Jin's ship powered up and ready. Hae-won was there with the medical pod, but so were 3 Dominion soldiers and commander. Going somewhere, the commander asked. Medical emergency, Hae-won said firmly. This patient needs immediate treatment at the orbital facility. Open the pod. That's against medical protocol. This patient has been exposed to chemicals. Opening the pod could. Open it now. One's hand moved to his weapon. He was calculating odds. 3 soldiers plus the commander, all armed, all trained. He couldn't win a fight, but he might buy enough time for the others to escape. Then Woo came running onto the pad. Everybody run, the leak is spreading. The whole sector is going to blow. It was a lie, of course, but it was a convincing lie. Colonists started panicking. People rushed toward the landing pads trying to get to safety. In the chaos, one made his move. He lunged forward and pushed the medical pod toward Woo Jin's ship. Hae-won understood immediately and helped him. Stop them, shouted. A Dominion soldier grabbed one. They struggled. The soldier was stronger, but one had years of combat training. He used the alien's momentum against him, throwing him into another soldier. Woo jumped on the 3rd soldier's back, causing him to stumble. Go, get her on the ship. Hae-won and Woo Jin got the medical pod onto the ship. One fought off another attack and ran for the boarding ramp. Pulled out his own weapon. Enough games, human. He fired. The shot hit one in the shoulder, spinning him around. Pain exploded through his arm. He fell. Woo screamed. She tried to help him, but another soldier grabbed her. There was a flash of violence. The soldier hit Woo hard. She crumpled. Something inside one snapped. He had seen too many friends hurt in the war. Not again. Never again. He pulled out his own weapon and fired. The shot was precise, hitting the soldier's weapon and destroying it. He fired again, creating a barrier of sparks and smoke. Get Woo, he shouted to Woo Jin. His brother ran out, grabbed the injured engineer, and pulled her onto the ship. One backed up the ramp, firing to keep the Dominion soldiers back. His shoulder was bleeding badly. Every movement sent pain through his body. Stood in the open, unafraid. You cannot escape. I have ships in orbit. They will hunt you down. Maybe, one said, but you'll have to catch us first. He was almost inside when said something that made him freeze. I know about the old warrior codes, about honor combat. If I defeat you in single combat, your ship stays grounded. Everyone surrenders. And if I win, we let you go. My ships will not pursue. It was a trap. It had to be. But one saw Na watching from nearby. She was recording everything. If broke his word, the whole galaxy would know. The Dominion cared about their reputation. His voice came from inside the ship, weak but urgent. One, he is trained in combat. He will kill you. What choice do I have? He walked back down the ramp. His shoulder screamed with pain, smiled and drew a blade. They faced each other on the landing pad. The crowd grew quiet. Even the panicking colonists stopped to watch. You are brave, human, but bravery without skill is just stupidity. Attacked, he was fast, incredibly fast. One barely blocked the first strike. The second cut across his arm. The third nearly took his head off. But as they fought, one remembered what it said. Dominion soldiers fought by doctrine. They followed patterns, predictable patterns. He stopped trying to match speed. Instead, he watched, learned. The commander's attacks were precise but repetitive. High strike, low strike, thrust, always the same sequence. When attacked again, one was ready. He didn't block. He moved, letting the blade pass by inches. Then he struck, fast and unexpected, hitting the commander's weapon arm. His blade fell. Before he could recover, one had his own weapon at the commander's throat. The crowd was silent. "You lost," one said. "Let us go." His face was dark with fury, but he nodded slowly. "I honor my word. You have 1 hour before my ships resume pursuit." One ran back to the ship. The ramp closed behind him. Wu Jin hit the engines and they lifted off. As they climbed toward orbit, one collapsed. Hei-Wan rushed to treat his wounds. Wu was already awake, her head bandaged but her eyes bright. "We did it," she whispered. "We're not safe yet," Wu Jin called from the cockpit. "The Dominion blockade is ahead." Pulled herself out of the medical pod, she was weak but determined. "I will guide you through. I know their tactics." 1 hour head start, one said through gritted teeth. "We need to make it count." The ship accelerated toward the stars, leaving Titan behind. Somewhere ahead's fleet was waiting. If they could reach it. 9 days later, Wu Jin's ship emerged from faster-than-light travel near the belt. One stood in the cockpit, his shoulder still healing but functional. Ahead of them, hidden among asteroids and ice, was fleet. 47 ships, each one larger and more advanced than anything humanity had built. They hung in space like sleeping giants, dark and silent until sent the activation code. Then they came alive, lights flickered on, engines hummed, a massive flagship moved forward to meet them. "I never thought I would see this again," said quietly. She stood beside one, still weak but standing tall. "My people, my fleet." They docked with the flagship 20 minutes later. As the airlock opened, a group of alien officers waited on the other side. They wore the same armor as, marked with symbols one didn't recognize. The lead officer, a tall female with silver markings on her face, dropped to one knee. "General, we thought you were dead." "Not yet," Commander Han, though it was close, gestured to one and the others. "These humans saved my life. They risked everything to help me." Han looked at them with obvious doubt. "Humans, they are barely capable of space travel." "They defeated a Dominion hunter commander in combat," said. "They outsmarted our best trackers, and they got me here alive when all seemed lost." The other officers murmured among themselves. One could feel their skepticism. To them, humans were primitives, curiosities, not equals. Over the next few hours, met with her commanders. She explained what had happened, the order to destroy a planet, her refusal, the hunt that followed, and the offer she had made to one. The reaction was mixed. "You want to make a human our chief strategic advisor?" Han asked. "General, with respect, they know nothing of galactic warfare." "They know something we have forgotten," replied. "How to think creatively, how to win when victory seems impossible. We have tactics, strategies, proven methods. The same methods the Dominion uses. If we fight them with their own tactics, we will lose. They are too strong, too numerous. We need something different." Another officer spoke up. "Then let us study human tactics, learn from them, but giving them command authority." "I am not asking for your permission," said. Her voice was calm but firm. "I am telling you what will happen. One and his people have earned their place here." Silence fell over the room. Later, one walked through the flagship with Hei-Wan and Wu. The ship was incredible. Technology that was centuries ahead of Earth's. Weapons that could destroy planets. Shields that could withstand almost anything. "This is overwhelming," Wu whispered. "How can we possibly contribute anything when they have all this?" "Because technology isn't everything," one said. "The Dominion has better technology than, but she still beat them when she needed to." Hei-Wan pointed to a medical bay. "I want to study their medicine, see what we can learn, maybe share some of our techniques too." They spent the day exploring and learning. Wu Jin talked with the fleet's pilots, sharing ideas about ship handling. Wu discussed engineering with alien technicians who were surprised by her knowledge. As night fell by ship's time, called one to the command center. The room was circular, with holographic displays showing the entire fleet in surrounding space. Tomorrow I will make my formal offer to you, she said. In front of all my commanders, it must be official. And if I refuse, then I will thank you for your help and send you home safely. No one will force you into this. One looked at the holographic display. 47 ships, thousands of crew members from dozens of species, all of them refugees from the Dominion, all of them fighting for a better galaxy. Why me? He asked. I'm not special. I'm just a maintenance worker who used to be a soldier. You are exactly what we need. You see problems differently. You adapt. You improvise. And most importantly, you do what is right even when it costs you everything. Touched his shoulder gently. I have studied Earth's history. Your species has survived ice ages, plagues, wars, disasters. You never give up. That is what we need. That night one couldn't sleep. He walked through the ship thinking. He found HFY in the medical bay, studying alien medical texts. Can't sleep either, she asked. Too much to think about. She put down her reading. What will you say tomorrow? I don't know. This is bigger than me. Bigger than anything I imagined. That's why it matters. If you say yes, you're not just helping. You're giving humanity a chance to be part of something larger. And if I fail, if I make mistakes and people die, then you'll be like every other leader who ever lived. One, you've already proven yourself. You outsmarted the Dominion. You beat their best hunter. You got us here alive. She smiled. I think you can do this. The next morning, the entire fleet gathered. Not physically, but through holographic projection. Thousands of faces appeared in the command center, watching and waiting. Stood at the center. Beside her stood HFY Wu and Wu Jin. My soldiers began. For too long we have run from the Dominion, we have hidden, we have survived, but survival is not enough. It is time to fight back. The crowd murmured with approval. To do this, we need allies, we need new ideas, we need to become something the Dominion does not expect. She turned to one. I offer one of Earth the position of Chief Strategic Advisor. He will have full access to our military knowledge and technology. He will help train our forces in new tactics, and in return, humanity will join our coalition as equal partners. She looked directly at him. What is your answer? One felt thousands of eyes on him, alien eyes, judging, doubting, hopping. He thought about Earth, about his home, about humanity struggling to find its place in a galaxy full of older, stronger species. He thought about Sangwoo and Na, who had risked everything to help them, about the colonists on Titan who showed courage when it mattered. He thought about the 3 billion lives had saved. And he thought about the future, a future where humans weren't alone, where they had allies, where they could stand as equals. I accept, he said clearly. Not just for me, for all of humanity. We will stand with you against the Dominion. We will share what we know, and together we will build something better. The crowd erupted. Some cheered, some argued, some simply watched with interest. Smiled, then it is done. Welcome, Chief Advisor. Over the next weeks, everything changed. One worked with commanders, teaching them human tactics. Simple things like using terrain in unexpected ways. Complex things like psychological warfare and misdirection. HFY established a medical exchange program. Wu began adapting alien technology for human use. Wu Jin trained alien pilots in evasive maneuvers. And slowly the fleet changed. They started thinking differently, fighting differently, winning differently. News reached them from Earth. Sangwoo and Na had been arrested for helping escape, but their trial had become a sensation. People heard the truth about what had done, about the genocide she prevented. Support grew. Protests demanded their release. The government faced pressure to negotiate with fleet rather than condemn it. 3 months after one's acceptance, Earth's defense forces sent a message. They wanted to talk, to negotiate, to potentially join the coalition. And one stood together, reading the message. Your people are ready, she said. Maybe some of them, he smiled. It's a start. Yes, a start. She looked at the stars beyond the viewport. The Dominion will not ignore us forever. They will come. And when they do, we must be ready. We will be. That night, one sent a message back to Titan, to his friends, to anyone who would listen. We are not alone anymore. Humanity has allies. We have a future among the stars, and together we will face whatever comes. He ended the transmission and looked around the command center. Aliens from a dozen species worked alongside humans, different faces, different cultures, but one purpose. The galaxy was changing, and humanity was part of that change. One smiled. He had been running from his past for 5 years. Now he was running toward the future. And it was going to be incredible.